Well, hello everyone. I am so excited today to be a part of this wonderful Agora Post Social Pulse Summit Twitter edition. And I get to talk about one of my favorite, two of my favorite subjects, Twitter chats and goals, because we're going to be talking about Twitter chat goals. I'm Debra Eckerling. I'm the author of Your Goal Guide, a roadmap for setting, planning, and achieving your goals, and founder of the Deb Method. I am all about helping people figure out what they want and how to get it. And social media is so important because that's how we get ourselves out there. And how do you do it successfully? You set goals. So today, this is going to be so much fun for me. We're going to talk about Twitter chats and why, when, if you should start a chat, and how to set your chat up for success. So let's start with the basics. What is a Twitter chat? A Twitter chat is a conversation revolving around a certain topic and or a hashtag that's usually on the same day every week, every other week, every month. And they are a wonderful way, if you're an expert, to expand your reach, start new conversations, develop relationships with new friends. Should you join Twitter chats? Absolutely. And later on, I'm going to give you some suggestions of some great chats and where to find even more. Now, whether you should start a chat, that's really up to you. But hopefully, at the end of the session, you're going to be like, yes, or I'm going to use some of the other Twitter tips I've learned at this conference and move forward. But really, what I hope that you get from this session is some clarity in whether you want to start a Twitter chat and the steps you need to take to start a successful chat. Okay, let's get the first very important question. Do you really want to add one more activity to an already busy social media life? Well, you can answer that. I'll tell you from my experience. So I am also the host of the Goal Chat Twitter chat, which is Sundays at 7 p.m. on Twitter, 7 p.m. Pacific on Twitter. And then I have a Goal Chat Live Facebook Live show Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific. Now, I have been talking for years, talking, thinking, planning my Twitter chat for years until one day I said, okay, January 1st, and this was the beginning of 2018, I said, it's time for my chat. So whether you start your chat next week, next month, at the beginning of the year, you will have everything you need to know to figure out the chat you want and how to bring it into your social media life. You need to set those Twitter chat goals and set yourself and your chat up for success. So, as I mentioned before, I'm the founder of the Deb Method, and that is my system for helping people define, plan, and achieve their goals. Because you can't get what you want unless you know what you want. And we're going to use my system as it pertains to Twitter chats. But basically, the way it works in terms of setting, planning, and achieving your goals, it starts first, you want to determine your mission. What is it? And this is whether it's business or life. What are you all about? What do you want to achieve for you? What is Goaltopia? What is that perfect life where you're achieving your goals and living the life you want? And you may have this visualization of Goaltopia, but there are different ways that you can reach it. So you're an expert, you want to be known. Maybe you're going to be the next Twitter chat superstar, or maybe you want to write a book or start a blog or a podcast or all of the above. But you have a lot of different options, and there are ways to figure out what works for you best. And basically, the way is to brainstorm, think about everything you want, find a place for your goals into your life. So that is like the 2-minute version of the Deb Method, which you can learn more about in my book, Your Goal Guide, a roadmap for setting, planning, and achieving your goals, or swing by my website and socials because I'm always there to help you motivate. And today, it's all this motivation is about starting your Twitter chat. So determine your mission. I just explained determine your mission in the big picture, the who you are as a business, but let's talk about it in terms of whether or not you want to start a chat. So who are you? Are you an author, a consultant? Do you have an agency? Do you have a business? What, or perhaps you're working for a company, but you've got a great side hustle you want to bring more attention to. There are all these different reasons, the who you are in the world, why you may want to start a Twitter chat, but only you can really determine the mission behind it. So think about it. Why do you want to start a Twitter chat? Now, in my case, I've been leading goal setting groups for years under Write On Online, and then now Write On Online and the Deb Method. Those are my two socials out in the world. And I have a very strong Facebook following, which is all about setting goals, reporting on goals, and like cheering each other on. But I wanted to get to the people who aren't on Facebook and who like communicating in those bite-sized Twitter chat snippets. So I said, okay, now is the time. I'm going to start Goal Chat. And when I started it, I said, I'm just going to kind of dip my toe in, and I will hold office hours on Sunday nights at 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific and see who shows up. Well, I had a bunch of people show up on the first week, and we just, what did you accomplish this week? What were your wins? What are your goals for next time? And the conversation went really well. The next week it happened again. And I said, okay, I guess my Twitter chat's going to be a lot more than me just like hanging out and encouraging people, which is when I went into more of a structure, which I will get into when we get to that portion. But what I'm talking about is, so when you're figuring out your chat and whether or not it's the right decision for you, you want to go to the third thing on this list, which is how will your Twitter chat help others? Because social media, yes, you want to let people know what you do and how you help, for your business or your brand or your expertise, but you use social media to sort of introduce people to you. So the way in which my Twitter chat helps others is very much aligned with my mission, of Goal Setting Simplified, getting out there, talking to people once a week and encouraging them and offering resources. But more than that, bringing a community of champions together to cheer each other on. So, who are you? Why do you want to start a Twitter chat? How will it help others? This is your Twitter chat mission. And when you're figuring out the reasons behind it, you also want to put it forward in your bio. So, as I mentioned before, mine is to help people set, plan, and achieve their goals. The agency chat that Agora Pulse does, led by Deb Mitchell, is all about being a resource for agencies. So, in jumping into the chat world, it's all about putting forward your mission to help others and bring them more information, clarity, maybe even some entertainment, some good ideas to help them reach their missions. So I do it with the Goal Slant. Deb and Agora Pulse through agency chat is all about resources, the mission to help. So you want to create your mission statement, who you are, what you want, and your why. That's your mission, and it's going to be for your business. But then also think about how this mission and how a Twitter chat is going to help you help others and what you hope to accomplish. And then the other thing that's really helpful and important for mission statement is to create a motto. So, my mission, all about helping people define, plan, and achieve their goals. But my motto is Goal Setting Simplified. And that's really my mission for both my business, my consulting, but also for my chat, because these are motivational conversations. I think achieving your goals, working towards your goals is going to be challenging enough. The instruction should be easy. So my chats go along with my motto of Goal Setting Simplified. They're all about getting people motivated and moving forward in the most simple way possible. So when you create your motto, think about your motto for your business and keep that in mind through every step as you create your Twitter chat. So once you're like, okay, I'm going to do a Twitter chat, it's going to be for these reasons, I'm psyched. Okay, you could start. But this session is also about setting yourself up for success. I want you to create a chat that is going to be sustainable and successful and that can grow with you and your business and your consultancy and your side hustle. So, whatever it is that you are creating, let's get the foundation in order. And the first thing you need to do really is to see what's out there. And there are some great resources, and you can also, use the Google, say, Twitter chat your topic or the hashtag you want to use or are thinking about using, and see what in your topic is out there. And then you want to see, okay, what's your unique slant? In life, in business, there are a lot of people who do a lot of similar things, but we all bring our own unique slant. We all have different experiences, personal and professional. We have different backgrounds. We have different specialties. So you want to think beyond, okay, I love food. I'm doing foodie chats. Now, if I Googled foodie chat, I would find a lot of foodie chats. But what is your niche within the food industry? What unique thing do you have to offer? I want a social media chat. I think that's this is a social pulse summit, so that's, the one more like very specific, the social media general. There's so many things you can do with social media. And Agora Pulse, they went with agency chat because agencies is who they want to help. Madeline Sklar, who's definitely like the go-to on everything Twitter, who's also speaking at this conference, she has the Twitter Smarter chat. And I that was really my first chat. I met Madeline, she's incredibly motivating, and I started attending her chats and then was a guest, because when you're exploring the chat world, you want to see how it works. The first way to test it out is to attend chats. And then the second is to see which ones welcome guests and then offer yourself up and see what happens. So Madeline's chat, Twitter Smarter, is very Twitter specific, but her topics are the range. I've talked about setting social media goals on Twitter Smarter. It's really, what is your specialty and how can you present it a little bit differently in a way that's really going to get to the people that you are trying to reach. So first, you want to see what's out there. Then, once you figure out your hashtag, you really want to see if anybody is using it, because the last thing you want to do is start a chat with a hashtag that someone's using that is the complete opposite alignment of your brand. So you want to really dig in. When I was thinking about Goal Chat, and I think I had the account for Goal Chat maybe 5 years before I even started Goal Chat, maybe it was 3. It was just kind of sitting there waiting. And then I was using the hashtag as well. Do people use Goal Chat? Yes. Usually it's people who, because my chat's been going for a while, but prior to that, the people who were using it just kind of flippantly, they were related to sports. It did not impact my message, and I've carved out my niche is goal chat, and people often use my hashtag when they are doing goal related posts, which is great because it again goes back to me, my business, my mission. So see what's out there, search, make sure this beautiful, perfect hashtag is aligned, and then you can press the start button. But of course, you want to attend chats and become a guest to get your comfort level going. Okay, now that you've decided, okay, I'm going to do the chat, you really need to dig into the details. And the first thing you want to do is come up with a day and a time that is going to work for you every single week or every other week or every other month. The best way or for frequency is weekly. If weekly is not good for you, you can do every other week, or it actually, I think either weekly or monthly is better. You want to set an expectation for the people to attend so they know Every week on this date at this time is goal chat. Every week at this day at this time is agency chat. Twitter smarter, lead loudly, whichever of these chats you want to set that expectation immediately and have the frequency. So pick a day and a time that works for you. When I was figuring out goal chat, I said, okay, it's going to be Sunday nights or Monday mornings. And then I looked at my schedule and said, Sunday nights, I know I can consistently get to this time. And that's the big reason why it was chosen. And when I started the Goal Chat Live, okay, I knew it was going to be Monday the day after, but I do it late afternoon. So I know that I can attend every week. Look at your schedule because you are the king or the queen of your chat. So you want to do it right from the start. The other thing to look at is imagery. What sort of photos are you going to use? Now, you already have a brand or brand business, whatever. You want to create imagery that's going to be similar to, in line with the rest of your brand. So think about if you're using photos, stock photos, or real pictures, that's the kind of imagery that you're going to want to use. I use gold stars with everything. So obviously, there are gold stars in the imagery of my chat. Next thing is the type of chat. Do you want to run a solo chat like me? Do you want to do a team chat? There's one called Script Chat where they rotate hosts. Or do you want to do a chat with both and guests? So with my chat, it's a solo chat, and I think of my community as the guests. Other chats, the ones who have guests, they invite an expert in, and then everybody, the community, is welcome to jump in, but the focal point is on the guest specialty. So think about the type of chat you want, and then also think of the flow. How's it going to work? Like I mentioned, my chat was just going to be office hours, didn't last long. And now my flow is it always starts with this is the topic, introduce yourself with an icebreaker. And then my first two questions are always, what was your biggest win this week? And what are your goals for the week? And then we jump into the special topic where there are 3 or 4 questions. And then in my chat, once a month, it's on monthly goals, but the rest of the chats are very specific. So I just did mindset last week, and then Jennifer Watson for Agora Pulse was my Goal Chat Live, and we were talking about mindset. I've done everything from creativity to different social media platforms because they all fall within the spectrum of goals. This is your business. You need personal goals and professional goals, and all the different elements fall under that umbrella, going back to that motto of goal setting simplified. How can you share information to help others and learn from others? So once you have all the background, all the research, then you can start putting your chat in motion. And this goes into brainstorm your path. So you want to, and I'm a huge fan of journaling. And if you do better writing things out, use paper. If you do things better typing them, use the computer. But what I want you to do is just brainstorm everything that needs to get done to bring your chat into reality. So you're going to brainstorm the type of chat and the flow and the imagery. Even though you're going to have some basis of it, you really will probably figure out the day and the time and the frequency before you move to this step. But then go into, what do you need to do? Do you need to start a Twitter account? What kind of announcement will you make? Are you going to put it on a web page, do a blog post? What are the things you need to do to kind of stake your claim to this chat? Next thing you want to brainstorm is promotion, graphics, how you're going to share your chat, how you're going to introduce it, but also what are the things that you are going to do every week to remind people that your chat is out there? What kind of graphics do you want to use? What's that going to look like for you? Guest interaction. Um, you might want to, I guess, handpick your guests when you start, but maybe you'll get to a point where you're going to add a page where people can apply to be a guest. What is the interaction like? When do you message your guests? What sort of questions? Are you going to make them up? Or are you going to ask your guest for questions? Or is it going to be a mixture? And what is your flow going to be? Okay, choose a guest, pick a date, put it in the calendar, send them reminders. Are you going to show them the questions beforehand? Are you going to let them give you input? You want to brainstorm all these details down to the tiniest little things, and then you're going to come up with more things that you need to add. And then also think about the ongoing tasks and the time commitment. So if you are doing a weekly chat and you're using a guest, you're going to have tasks like finding guests, coming up with the questions, reminding them, figuring out the graphics. And you can also hire out for some of this stuff, or maybe you'll get lucky enough to have somebody who joins your chat who's big into graphics, who offers to do them for you for, in exchange for being a guest or promotion. You might get to a point where you have sponsors, but at least when you start, if you're a one person show, all this stuff is going to be on your head. So brainstorm all the things that you think are going to need to happen before, during, and then after the chat. And maybe some of your questions are the same, maybe some of them are different. You don't really know. What I find that works really well, and this is jumping ahead a little bit, is I set a calendar appointment for when the chats are. And again, because the guests are my community, there's a little bit less of the questions have a consistency because I know the style of the way the chat goes. So I always know the first few questions, I know the monthly questions, and then when I have a topic, those are the questions that change. So I've got a template for everything that goes on in my chat that I save on the calendar date, which I have as an ongoing. So I just go in and I alter it for each chat. So brainstorm anything and everything you think needs to go into your chat. And the great thing about brainstorming is you don't want to do it all at once. Do it over the course of a few days, a week. As soon as something comes to you, write it down, and then you're going to categorize your tasks and calendar them. So look at this big brainstorm and put all the different things you have to do together. So all the tasks for the launch go in one bucket. All the tasks for your pre-chat activities, the things that you're going to do leading up to a chat, is in another. Some people go with organic, some people do pre-tweeting. Agorapulse is a wonderful resource if you want to schedule tweets for your chat or even ongoing chats throughout the week because you don't just want to be on Twitter during your chat. What I do is I like to do the organic, but every now and then I will be unavailable on a Sunday night, in which case I will pre-tweet everything and I will let a few of the people in my community know beforehand. And I also have a tweet that says I'm pre-tweeting. We'll catch up later. And they will be there to make the rest of the community and new people feel welcome. Organic you can even pre-tweet if you're going to be there, if that's going to be easiest for you. And then your post chat activities, if you want to do Twitter moments or blog recaps or both, you can do that as well. Categorize them and then put them in your schedule, as I was mentioning before. So I've got an appointment for both my goal chat and my goal chat live, which has the details for each week's chat. And then I've got a Canva file, which is what I use for creating my graphics, that gets copied and updated, and then everything in between. So those are the basics of the things you need: your questions, your answers, and also extra things like the chat rules. This is a community for education, no promotion unless I ask. Answer questions, Q1 with A1, etc. Whichever version of that you want to create, but you need to figure out, maybe you want once a week appointments to do all of your chat activities for the week, or two, one for your pre-chat activities, an appointment for the actual chat, and one for the post-chat. So whatever works for you, it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Do you have time? Do you have the inclination and the passion to introduce a new chat in the world? Look at your schedule, see what's feasible, and if it is, schedule these appointments like you would do any other work, because that's one of your best ways to keep consistent. And you want to set your chat up for success, which I already mentioned. Interact throughout the week, not just on chat days. Create posts that are evergreen and create posts that are evergreen. So, not just to do with the topic, but also evergreen posts that can go out throughout the week, but also maybe during your chat. Maybe you've got some good resources that are good for any time to do with your topic, to have those tweets done and ready to go. And the PSAs you could do throughout your chat as well. This is my most recent chat recap. Listen, or if you need help with your goals, here's my book. These are just a couple examples of, um, I guess I'm calling them PSAs, that I interject. These are just a few examples of the types of tweets I interject into my chats. And then I've got ongoing, which is the join my community on Facebook, connect with me on LinkedIn. These are all tweets that will come out both during the week, but also at the end of the chat to keep my chat community engaged. Also, continue to join chats, meet new people. When you grow your community, you grow your chat. If you're ready, or when you're ready to go beyond your Twitter chat, you can create lists, like a Twitter list of all of the guests you've had, a list of your community for your chat, or both. You can use chat content in other social media. So let's say you have some great quotes from your guests, put it in a graphics file and share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook. Use this content. You've got great guests. Why would you only want to use it just for your chat? And when you highlight your guests, you tag your guests, you send the information to your guests, and it gets shared all over again. So that's just another way to use the chat to expand your reach, expand your expertise level in way that you are recognized as an expert. And then you may want to do what I did, which is create a live show, create a podcast, see in which ways your chat can expand beyond just being on Twitter. And you, of course, want to set Twitter chat goals. So we've been through all this, but I want to throw it into the goal format. You should set weekly or monthly chat planning appointments. Now, leading up to the chat, set as many appointments as you need till you get really solid on your idea, because your idea, your mission, your motto, your format, that's really going to be like the basic foundation. You know what you want, your drive behind it, your enthusiasm for it. You're already halfway there to having a successful chat. I say this all the time. You will never meet anybody more enthusiastic about goals than I am. And that comes through in everything I do, not just my chat, because I am legitimately excited to chat about goals. Make sure you are excited, enthusiastic, passionate about your chat, because it's a commitment. Commit to something you are going to enjoy, because that's also going to leak out into the community and get them excited too. So set up your chat. Then you want to set weekly or monthly chat planning appointments. I usually will, uh, I work a couple months in advance where I come up with my topics because I have guests, but maybe you want to do it every couple weeks. Say, okay, these are my people for the month that's coming up. And I think the following month, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to make a note. So that's kind of in your head. So when you happen upon the guests that you want, you could be, oh, I have a great slot for them. Figure out what works for you. You're much more likely to do it. Other chat goals you can have: post on a certain number of platforms, a certain number of times a week. Every Sunday morning, I post on my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and my Twitter talking about the topic. I also do chat reminders for people who've been on my chat. Now, this hack I guess we call it a hack. I have the Goal Chat Twitter account, and that is what I use for the reminders and for the recaps. But I use the Deb method for chatting during the actual Twitter chat. So I do my business on the account that's the Goal Chat, but I do the interaction and the engagement on the Deb method. So see what works for you, because on Twitter, you don't want to appear to be spamming and doing so much promotion. So for me, it's much easier that I've divided those two different categories of tweets. Remember the 80-20 rule, which is 80% information, 20% promotion, or thereabouts. You can put in, if you're doing 8 questions, you can put in a couple promotional tweets, but you also want to put in some tweets that are real valuable information that keeps you building that expertise status, the reason that you started the chat. And attend a certain number of Twitter chats a week. I try and attend at least one chat that's not mine each week. And my rule is one non-goal chat in addition to goal chat every week. And I think every 3 weeks I give myself the week off. But some weeks I'll attend a couple extra Twitter chats. It's, again, look in your schedule, see what works, and go with it. And when you're doing your chat research, one thing you can do is find maybe 5 or 6 chats that you think you're going to like, put them in your schedule, attend all of or some of them for a couple weeks, and then really hone in on the ones that are going to be good for you. And then you set them as appointments. Keep the ones that you want to do on an ongoing basis. You want to evolve your chat, see how you're in organically, not just, oh, okay, I'm going to do this for a while and then I'll expand to this, this, this. You can't always know, but you can be open to following your chat where it leads. So, some awesome Twitter chats. Of course, you are all welcome to join me for Goal Chat every Sunday at 7 p.m. and follow the Deb method and chat about brand. Christine Gritman is Tuesdays at 9 a.m. These are all people participating in the summit. Madeline Sklar's Twitter Smarter is Thursdays at 10 a.m., followed by Agency Chat, Agora Pulse's chat that's led by Deb Mitchell. Lee Loudly, Nathalie Gregg's chat Thursdays at 4. Lots more wonderful chats. Madeline's got a great resource for the very best Twitter chats for social media marketing. And there's also tweet reports. And again, you can Google Twitter chat topic and see what comes up. Now, please, I would love you to all connect with me. I'm going to provide a free Twitter chat cheat sheet if you just go to thedebmethod.com/TW Summit. And I will also include the links from the previous slide. If you want to do some goal coaching with me, I mostly, well, not mostly, I help people whether they're lost, they need to make a change, and they need to figure out their plans. I can help them with that. Or if you have a goal that you want to achieve and you need a fitness trainer to help you figure out what path to go on to make that goal a reality. So, and please reach out, info@thedebmethod.com, and you can also grab my book, Your Goal Guide. It's yourgoalguidebook.com. Will take you to the Amazon link where it is an audiobook, paperback, and an ebook, or your favorite independent bookstore should have it or be able to order it for you. But this is really your goal guide, is the roadmap. It doesn't matter if you've got Twitter chat goals or LinkedIn goals, or just you need to change your life and you need a plan. The first half of the book goes through the Deb method, and the second half will set you up for success. It'll be everything I talked about today in terms of planning goals for your life, reaching Goaltopia, so much more. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about Twitter chats. If you decide to do a chat, I would love for you to tweet to me with Goal Chat, and you can also do Goaltopia as in the hashtag. I would love to hear what you're working on. I would love to check out and join your chat. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Deb Method, and at Right On Online. Thank you again. It's been so much fun talking to you today about Twitter chats. I wish you well, and remember, whatever goals you set, just make a plan. You can do it.